DRPAK here with fellow real doctor, academic, not a medical doctor, whatever that means.
Don't push your big pharma meds on me, fake doctors.
Yes, thank you so much. And we're here in the Lair, the RP room. What are you calling this room?
We call it Studio because Phil Collins had a song called Studio. And it wasn't studio, it was just studio. Which is a nonsense word. No, I think he did it as like a practical joke. And it's called Studio.
Okay, amazing. In the studio then, the RP studio, first guest to officially baptize this place.
Yes, it was dunked in.
Yes, it is partly Christian Orthodox now. No offense to all other religions. Greek Christian Orthodox, let's be clear here. And I'm going to hit you with some gym trends. And I want to hear your opinion. In my opinion, these are among the worst gym trends. But I want to hear what fellow real doctor, not a medical doctor, real doctor, Dr. Mike, PhD, doctorate degree holder, has to say. Right. We're going to start with high-intensity training, meaning low volume, high-intensity, Dorian Yates, Mike Menzer, all-out training to maximize muscle growth.
Yeah, it was like, maximum muscle growth occurs at a certain given volume. And that volume is unlikely to be under 5 or 6 sets per week done hard for muscle. Sometimes really big, really strong people can't recover systemically for more than that for a whole body. So that's the best thing that works for them. And then people just do a monkey see, monkey do, and they just copy them. For most people, something like 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 to 30 sets per muscle per week is going to be much closer to even the systemic sweet spot of gain. So for most people, high intensity training with very low volumes is not the best answer. For some people, it's a good thing they're doing it because they were overdoing volume before relative to their recovery. And they weren't focusing on technique and relative effort as much. So it was all a bunch of like sending the sets to God knows where, 10 RIR. And then it can have an advantage. But for many people, it's just going to be really, really tough psychologically, but not so much inducing as much hypertrophy as possible. So I just think of it as a coming of age thing. I did high intensity training when I was younger. I'm glad in a sense the trend is back so kids can learn first person that it's not a good idea in most cases.
You mean to tell me that Dorian Yates and that other one bodybuilder are not enough evidence to base our whole training to maximize muscle growth on?
Yeah. Well, actually, based on who said the thing, understanding its claims to be true or not is called the genetic fallacy, where the genesis of the claim came from. I would also say that anyone who wants to take the Dorian thing a little too seriously, Ronnie Coleman did everything twice a week with high volumes and he was bigger. So I just canceled out Dorian. I think one Ronnie cancels out a Dorian and now we're back to square one. So good luck with that.
I never got that type of thinking, and I never got the idea that there's a volume conspiracy. As if anybody is benefiting from selling you, hey, spend more time and work harder in the gym. Here's the worst thing.
You're really trying to sell that there's no conspiracy. A bit too hard, I'll say.
Imaginary video guy, cut this off. All right. The next one, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, is peak contraction, and people really focusing on the peak contraction in their workouts.
Yeah.
What do we feel about that?
So the peak contraction, when you squeeze the pecs, it can be cool from promoting the mind-muscle connection. Sometimes you have trouble feeling out your muscles, and the peak contraction can be a good way to feel them. So like some of the curls, like actually it's called the Jerry curl. Jared Feather invented it. And it's out here, and you really try to squeeze at the top here, and then you come back. And the squeeze is more to like, because your biceps need to cramp a little bit. And then once you have that little cramp awareness, then you slowly open them up, and it can really guide you to how to really fuck well. It also has a lengthened component, which is why it works mostly. So there's context for it. But outside of proprioceptive exercise, the bottom third, middle third, and top third of a few exercises now have been examined for hypertrophic yield, and the bottom third wins pretty much every time. And the top third does very, very poorly. So with a peak contraction, you spend an inordinate amount of focus and effort on something that is probably the thing you should be spending the least focus and effort. The sooner you can figure out it doesn't do shit, the better.
Next up on the list, you've debated this person and their training philosophy. Seedman, and all his 90-degree angle stuff.
When I debated Joel on Mark Bell's Power Project podcast, it seemed Joel was involved more in trying to disseminate an air of general cordiality and agreement versus engaging in the topics remotely, confrontationally, adversarially. He just kind of like went along with shit and didn't want to say XYZ. I caught him in a few things which made no sense, but also don't like to be super rude and mean. I think Joel Seedman is a person that did some wacky exercises, and he noticed that two things happened. One, group of athletes believed him that these were the exercises they wanted to do, mostly because they look really exotic and they're not very difficult to do. And athletes like shit that's exotic and not difficult because it doesn't make them tired for practice and it makes them really feel like they're doing something. In addition to that, I think Dr. Joel Seedman, he has a PhD in exercise science, which shows you how far that goes.
Real doctor, though.
I think he realized that when he makes these kinds of workouts and training videos, they get a crazy amount of attention on social media. Bad or good, it doesn't matter, because it expands his funnel so you can go download his book and all this other stuff and he'll make money off you, which is nice. The stuff he's doing, every now and again, he has an exercise that's nice, works, but almost always the setup is exceedingly complex for what you're getting out of it. And a lot of times it sacrifices so much transfer of training, specificity, and overload at the same time that it ends up being just a shitty exercise. I would just generally put him under the umbrella of like person that may know almost nothing of value with regard to exercise that he's shared with anyone, and person whose insights into how you should do exercises are more wrong than right. And that's not great. As a human being, I hope he's doing well, as I hope all humans are doing well. But I hope he believes his own stuff. But if he doesn't believe it and he's doing it in a Machiavellian way to just try to grift as much money as possible, it sucks.
That sucks.
Would take athlete endorsements alone with a grain of salt, unless what they're endorsing makes sense. It's got science behind it. They can rationalize why. Because if they just say, do this because I do it, I'm awesome. But remember, when they were in the senior year in high school, they could already have, if the rules allowed it, walked on to the National Football League. They're special. They were always more jacked and ripped than you. And none of that Joel Seedman shit arguably got them any more jacked and ripped. And if they had a proper program that, you know, was something that, like the way they train at the San Francisco 49ers, have a strength and conditioning coach who's ultra evidence-based, modern periodization. If you train with that guy, you'd want much better at your job as a football player than with Joel Seedman.
What are your thoughts on the carnivore diet?
I eat it. I eat the tiger diet.
Okay.
And I want people to understand what I mean when I say that. I don't eat like a tiger. I eat only tigers. You ever had a tiger steak?
Yes.
It's not good. Predators tend to taste quite poorly. But because I'm a man, I eat what men must. You are what you eat, right? Bah. I don't eat beef. I don't eat cows. They're weak. They're soft. They only weigh 1,500 pounds with 10% body fat. I have higher standards. Do I eat pork? Hell no. Do I eat chicken? Are you crazy? Do I want to weigh 3 pounds? Pack, we got to wake up here.
This is real science, people.
The adult tiger is 500 fucking pounds. It's like 10 feet long. He wakes up pissed. He walks around pissed. He goes to sleep ultra pissed. He's a killing machine. And he occasionally takes a break from killing to do one of two things. 3. Eat. Nope, just kidding. That's in the killing, because he kills to eat. That one's gone. Drink. Fine. You know what the other word is now. Because I'm saying female tigers is on that shit. Like all skeeted up on the club and shit. You turn the black light in the jungle, tiger jizz everywhere. You are what you eat. I eat only tiger. I know they're getting extinct or whatever leftist nonsense. But I don't choose to believe in that because I don't like how it makes me feel. I'm on the tiger diet. I only eat tigers. And so I look down on carnivore diet people because they eat things like beef and chicken and absurd animals that aren't as cool as tigers.
That's probably the best steak on the best steak, pun unintended, the best take on the carnivore diet I've heard.
Yeah. Do you want a real take?
Sure.
Carnivore diet's not as bad as people think because you actually do get a lot of value from high-fat and organ meat, but you would be in every way healthier and better at everything you do if you eat a carnivore diet base and hit some goddamn fresh fruits and veggies along with that, because veggies are so good for you in every respect. So are fruits, and you're just not going to get fat from fruits and veggies. It's not going to happen. And so carnivore diet's kind of like a third of the puzzle, and you add fruits and veggies and maybe some healthy fats like nuts and seeds and shit like that, then you're fucking really rocking. Can you skip like the white rice and the processed carbs? Sure, you can also eat them and they're totally fine. But I get it if you want to like fucking get down to your core and be all ancestral and like, I don't know, like lead a Roman legion or whatever the fuck. But like, you don't have to just eat meat for that, man. Meat, some fucking veggies, some fruits. At least start with that. You'll feel way better about yourself. And you might even start eating tigers on a kit.
Groundbreaking. It's crazy with the carnivore diet because it's like if you were to do like the super strict carnivore diet where you're not eating, you know, processed meats only and you're eating lean meats, and it's not bad. But the idea that, oh, this is the healthiest, best muscle growth building.
Yes, and the fact that other diets are bad for you. I'm talking about like, well, you know, technically like fiber is an anti-nutrient because it like prevents you from absorbing vitamins and minerals. Like, oh yeah, you vitamin and mineral deficient? They're like, no, why the you care? Also, broccoli has like 800 trillion times more vitamins and minerals than it has anti-nutrients. So the net effect is insanely, insanely good. Look up the benefits of fruits, veggies, and whole grains. It's just like infinite. You could read PubMed reviews for about that stuff. And it's all basically unanimous too. And so if my biggest problem with the carnivore diet, folks, is they'll be like, so don't eat veggies. Oh, God damn it. It's like walking out of a armor personnel carrier. We're just going right on the first landmine. Like, at least don't go there. At least just go that way and say, hey, look, you can eat a lot of meat, red meat, and mostly red meat and still be healthy and well. And that's true. But just quit while you're ahead.
Exactly. Exactly the point I made. We can all enjoy animal products, but also have our veggies. And the thing is, like carnivore zealots will rely on, like, there was one study where they asked people that follow carnivore, and they specifically recruited people from Facebook and Reddit groups that do carnivore. They said, oh, since I follow the carnivore diet, health is better, diseases are gone. I found 3 similar design studies for vegans, exactly the same.
Yeah. One thing I get a lot of hate for with the carnivore people is I'll point out the fact that vegans that eat well, non-junk food vegans, we had a lot of them in the 90s because they didn't make junk food for vegans back then. Some of the healthiest people you'll ever find. And inevitably, someone is going to reply, I don't know, man, the girl at my work's vegan and she's a fat slob and a piece of shit and fuck her. And like, yeah, I feel that, but look at what she eats. You're like, well, I guess Lucky Charms are vegan now. She eats mostly just Lucky Charms all day. And you're like, if the Lucky Charms are the problem.
Nice. Real science, real advice, real doctors. Don't forget to like, subscribe, buy stuff. Buy the Hypertrophy app. Code DRPAK for 10% off of Rascal.
Damn, your chest is huge.
Big chest, big gains. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.